Welcome back to Easy Dispel, where the name is Easy to Spell, and we did it wrong anyway. I'm your Dungeon Master, Andrew, and I'm joined by a slightly smaller group of maybe heroes tonight, starting with the wonderful
Mike. I'm Mike, and you'll learn about me later.
And I'm Will, and I play Oreltin and Kia.
And I'm getting an echo in my headset. My name's David. Let's play some D&D. I'm playing Kia. That's totally the wrong way, but I'm just gonna keep going with it until I run out of voice and I'm turning very red.
I thought it was just the purple lights. Welcome back, everybody. We are kicking off the next breadth, arc of our story. We are rolling back in time a little bit. We're down a few people. Some are traveling. Some had to step away. But the other half of our original party from Campaign 1, who broke off from Princess Valalev and her boy, Raven.
What up?
Don't know why I said it like that. We're circling south of the Nalburundian Empire into the northern expanses of Ostromnir, a coalition of city-states that joined together to stand against the Empire's expanse in the southern hemisphere of Thermoon. This night, we drop in on a campfire recently set. Around it sit a large, armored, black dragonborn paladin, I think clear from the outside. Sitting across the fire from a, I believe, purple-skinned tiefling individual, who any longtime viewers would be familiar with as Oreltin and Kia. As they sit along the campfire after another long day's travel, as they take one step closer to their destinies. Because we've been trying to think of synonyms for making my way, which I say way tue often. And that's what we landed on. So get used to hearing that, folks.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so we come into you guys' campsite. Like I said, it's been a few weeks since you stepped off the Fenrir's Breath and started moving along towards your goal. What are you doing? What are you up to?
You know, you're not really that much of a talker. I kind of... This is kind of a one-sided conversation we've been having here.
Up until recently, I've been enjoying the silence.
Well, I mean... I guess... I don't know. Okay. I'll just...
Well, he's dressed in long black vestments with the eye signet of List, holding the two sides of the cloak together, and he will pull the signet away from him, and on the underside you see a box engraved into the back end of the signet, and he'll hold his hand underneath it, and a sword will pop out of the box, and he will just spend some time handling the sword, flipping it around, being lost in thought. Start the sword.
Right. Well, Kaya's going to dig through his bag and pull out a Kraken-style pan flute, and the one that Fenrir gave him. And he's going to just kind of look it over and make sure it's, in decent condition, clean. And then he's just going to kind of just start playing a random tune on it.
Okay, give me a performance check.
18.
18. That's the woods that surround you are quiet. And so as you begin quite skillfully just tootling away on your pan flute, the notes kind of lilt and echo through the forest. Sounds of birds and animals kind of blending in and creating this, just kind of, for Oreltin For you, it's a very like nice atmospheric like lo-fi merging with the sounds of the forest itself. Orel, give me a perception check as you kind of stop and are listening to the music.
Okay. How does a 21 sound?
21 sounds like in the background you hear rapid footsteps and a low whine
The
moving
sword
towards
goes
you.
back into the cube immediately, and I pull out the long one on my back.
The sword that you had pulled out, what did it look like? The one that came out of the box and is going back in.
You have to tell me. It's the really important one.
Okay, the crystalline.
Yes.
It looks like it would be a piercing sword, like a short sword, but it's of what looks like woven black crystal. And at the very tip, where if it was a true sword, it would come to like a very fine point on this kind of blade. It's jagged and broken off. The handle has kind of a similar piece. It looks like parts have been snapped away from this crystalline weapon. As it disappears into the box and you turn towards the sound, Kaya, your music fading as you look to see Oreltin springing to attention. The sword swings around, and a small brown, like wolf puppy with 3 long scratch marks along one of its cheeks, bright blue eyes. It sprints into your camp, and it kind of gives you half a look before darting between your legs and like pressing up and turning back the way it came. And it just, that low whine kind of continues the way that dogs do. That just high-pitched screeching sound as it like hides behind you and is just looking back the way it came.
Hides behind me or hides behind Bauer?
Behind you. Like as you like turn to face it, it came crashing out of the darkness and just like whipped around you. Unless you do anything like attack the puppy.
I'm
Which
actually
tell
gonna
you
look
you
the way.
don't.
I'm
But
gonna look the way the dog came from and just like straight arm hold the greatsword in that direction, ready for whatever
Okay.
charges out after it.
just nothing but your heartbeat beating in your ears.
After a time,
And
I'll
you
just
hear
put the sword back away.
with your perception, you do hear after a few moments, kind of at the edges of the fire, this low scraping. And something moves kind of back into the trees.
Might maybe, without taking my eyes off where the sound came from.
I don't know if that came through for him.
Either.
What?
So while I'm holding my sword straight out, I'll say, Bauer, some light maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I can start some trees on fire, but that's the best I got.
Damn it. And I'll take, let's say, a canteen out off my belt with the other hand and cast light as I chuck it into the trees.
The canteen flies forward, and what whips around towards you, a single kind of not glowing, but this deep pulsating orange eye whips around to face you, is what looks like a giant centipede-like creature, but standing maybe this tall at the shoulder and 24 feet long. Kind of raises up, the legs and mandibles start like chittering towards you. Oreltin, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okie dokie. 25.
25. You feel your body like lock up for a moment, and then that strength that you draw on to cast your holy spells pulses through your body, and you step forward, and as you do, this creature like turns and is going to try to make a break further into the trees away from your light.
How far is it from me?
It's probably 30 feet.
Okay, can I try and close the distance, turn the sword upside down, and impale it to the ground?
You can absolutely try. That's a. Let's get initiative rolls.
Not a good one.
There.
I got a whole 5.
I got a 9.
What if this thing also got a 9? What is your dexterity modifier?
Oh, it's so good. It's -1.
-1. Yeah, you move in the second it sees that whatever it tried to do to you didn't take hold. You rush forward, but it has the jump on you and it manages to break into the tree line. You can pursue it into the woods if you'd like.
Seems like a bad idea. I will, if it's within reasonable distance, pick up the canteen and attach to my belt.
Easy enough. Right to about the place you'd be able to make it to you. Pick it up.
I'll turn back and look at the dog and see if he's still there.
It's kind of whining, but it sits down next to the fire.
You were about 2.5 seconds away from being centipede food, weren't you?
Kind of goes down on its chest, crosses its paws, and like rests its face on its paws and just like looks up at you.
I'll sheath the sword and sit down on whatever I was sitting on before, and take out like half a bit of ration and just throw it on the ground in front of him.
Okay.
Look at that. Elton made a friend.
You're still
The
here.
puppy kind of sniffs at it. What kind of ration is it? Just like bread?
Yeah, dry
Or-
food ration, MRE type style.
Okay, yeah, that's goes and kind of begins kind of chewing at the hard, dry,
Yeah.
field rations.
It's not great, but that's what we've got. The hell do you think that thing was, Bar?
Creepy.
Yeah, say that again.
Either of you that would like to can make a nature check if you want to try to identify the creature.
Yeah, that's gonna go over well.
4.
2.
Creepy's about right.
Creepy as hell. Well, I guess we need to start talking about what we're gonna do when we hit Korth, right?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have much to go on. I mean,
Nothing, right?
other than Melrose being
There.
there, potentially. We know he's in the Feldenwaith and Ostrom there. That's about it.
The puppy's ears kind of perk up a little bit as it's still kind of chewing at the hardtack, but it's looking up as you're both talking.
Melrose? I'll just say to see if he pays attention again.
It's just kind of still looking at you, no further change, but
Jaegar. Korth. Ostrom there.
it's on, I think, Korth that kind of like shrugs, goes back to chewing. But you can tell the ears have done the thing where they're like turned towards you.
Guess I could consult list, but that's kind of the only thing I've got to go off at this point.
Right. Well, I think, along with other reasons, Korth is probably the at least closest and best place for us to start. Who knows? Maybe we'll find other people like me.
Even they're going to be hard to find. It's not like they just stand out. It's not written on their face.
It might be, but
Might be.
unlikely, but maybe.
We get there first, I guess. I guess you're coming with us too, huh? I'll look down at the dog.
It looks at you and then it kind of looks into the forest the way the thing ran off into the woods and kind of like grabs the food and then like crawls towards you a little bit before relaxing and continuing to Going back to the food.
I won't be with the scariest thing out here. And that's him, up on power.
Kind of doubtful look crosses the wolf puppy's.
No, I mean, as far as looks go, it's him.
Well, you want to take a little bit of a sip of the KBSB, I think.
KB, are you offering this to the puppy?
KBBS. KBBS.
This is.
You know, you told Vala you can read. I still don't believe. Yeah, give me a nip, and I'll just hold out a glass.
It was Kaya Bauer's best kept secret.
Kept secret. Yeah,
There we go.
BKS. That's what it was.
Okay. I'll say, you guys are kind of pouring and talking about this, and the puppy sits up, kind of at your feet, and the tail begins wagging, puffing up a little dirt as it's looking at the drink you're pouring.
You're thirsty. Hold on. You don't want this.
It whines when you say, you don't want this.
I mean, I'm not about giving a puppy alcohol, so here's some water.
It sits, and just the eyes kind of narrow a little bit. One paw goes out and hits the edge of like the bowl that you put the water in, flipping it over.
So you don't want anything to drink then?
I'll like put a foot out and drag the bowl close to me and just dump half of mine in there. Not half of mine. I'll dump a couple drops of mine in there.
It comes up and laps it up. Just a couple drops. Doesn't need for any sort of save or anything. So it nods approvingly before kind of settling back. The night, is progressing. Are you guys planning on just kind of staying up and waiting, or are you setting watch? What are you doing for the sleepy times?
Two of us and big centipedes in the woods.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to stay up.
I mean, we do have the dog. I mean, granted, I don't know how hard of a sleeper the dog is, but...
And considering how fast you bolted away from it last time...
That's true. You might whine, wake us up on the way out.
Yeah, that's
or we'll
not
die.
gonna wake me up. Neither sound like good options.
No.
I'll take it first if you promise to stay up this time.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not... You kind of picked the short straw, didn't you? Like, I'm all about my sleep, and you're all about being cautious. I'll try to stay awake.
All about staying alive, at least.
That's true. I guess that's a good motivator, huh? Sure. I'll take second watch.
Okay.
First watch. Oreltin, I need you to make a perception check.
Yeah.
7. You're focusing on where you last saw that giant centipede creature. And so it takes you a second to recognize that chittering sound that, Kai, even you, it's close enough that it wakes you up. You can hear this sound. But Kai, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this is going to end fucking phenomenally. 5.
Oof. 5.
Oh, wait.
Your body...
I think he has something on saving throws because he's within a radius of me. Does that sound familiar to anybody?
Yeah, a lot of paladins have auras. It will have to add... You said you got a 5? It'll have to add 12 to his saving throw to really help here. And it's as you hear this chittering, you turn, you see Kaya lock up as it crashes through the woods close to your camp, closer than you realize it had gotten. And it is going to make an immediate attack, surprise attack, against the paralyzed Kaya.
Every fucking time.
I need my crit table because you're paralyzed. This is an automatic critical hit.
Kaya's gonna fucking lose his arm.
First attack. Okay. Yeah, does a
Oh, it hits.
29.
I've got no mage armor on. It's gonna fucking hit.
Okay. So there's a 29 as it lunges forward with its teeth. Max damage. Okay. You take 46 piercing damage
God damn.
as this sinks into your shoulder.
All right.
And it is going to use 20 feet of its movement to just start pulling you back into the woods rapidly. Now we get to make initiative.
12.
I would assume I would get a good initiative after being fucking pierced and drug away. 17.
Okay. Kai, you are first. You are paralyzed. At the end of your turn, the paralyzed wears off, allowing the pain to shoot through your body. As the creature is going to, realizing that you're beginning to move, it is going to bite down on you for a 15 to hit.
Hits.
15. Is it the jaws just the mandibles like pull you a little bit farther in?
It has disadvantage.
Oh. 15. So. What's that?
What about that first hit though?
Doesn't matter. Regardless.
The first hit was a 17 and an 18. Both.
Gotcha.
It had advantage, so it would have just been the first roll, which is 17. I need d10s. Maxing damage on that first hit was bad.
Yeah, that fucking hurt.
Yeah, that was rough.
1, 9, 12, 21, 27 piercing damage as the mandibles sink back into you, kind of restructuring their grip. It is going to forego its other attacks to move its full speed, whipping you off into the woods. So now it is 60 feet away from you, Oreltin. As we come to your turn.
60 feet away from me, I will pull out the longsword again, dart 30 feet into the woods, and then disappear into mist and reappear in front of it. And I will go for what I didn't get to do last time and flip the sword around and try to go directly through the body into the ground.
Okay,
Seems
give
quick.
me an attack roll.
Big guy.
Shit, I should have used Hellish Rebuke.
Natural 1.
Natural 1, unfortunately misses, but you have multiple attacks, right?
Dude. Better on the second one for an 18.
18 hits.
10 points of damage.
10 points of damage. As your sword pierces through, give me an athletics check.
Okay.
As you try to pin this thing to the ground.
14.
14 ties. So we're gonna. It doesn't full pin it, but it does. It is forced to let go of Kaya to, like, move quick enough to not be pinned to the ground.
There you
go. Anything else you're doing with your turn?
It's movement, bonus action, and action, so I'm square.
Okay. The puppy. What does the puppy do?
Question: does the wild shape. Do I need to use an action to make myself bigger than what I could?
No. We'll
Okay.
say that this is part of this particular form.
Okay. So the puppy will, not that you've seen this necessarily because you're chasing after a thing, suddenly turns into a dire wolf and starts sprinting towards the centipede-looking thing.
The awkward puppy sprint begins stretching and elongating as mass and weight and just pure size and fur and teeth kind of explode outwards as you charge down this giant centipede creature.
So I can move 50 feet as a wolf, which puts me on.
And you would have been closer, so 50 feet's going to put you in melee range.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and take a bite.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
That's a 20.
20 hits.
Okay, so that's going to be 7 points of damage.
Okay.
And is this it's a creature or is it a monster? I don't know what the difference on those are.
It is a creature. So creature pretty much covers everything but constructs for the most part, and like elementals.
It needs to succeed on a strength 13 saving throw.
Okay. It fails, surprisingly.
Okay, so it's knocked prone at this point.
What level to get it off of?
Okay. It is prone. And anything else you're doing?
No.
The multi-attack is...
It doesn't say that necessarily.
Okay. Then,
So
no. Back at the top. Kaya, you've been dropped. You are prone, but we won't use not.
That's fine.
technically. So,
He'll stand up, but he's standing up kind of slowly. He's got blood just kind of gushing out. He stands up, but as he looks up, everything but his irises are black, and as he stands up, some dark, thick shadow starts to emit from him, and it reaches out towards the thing. The thing, I don't even know what it is. The giant fucking centipede. And it needs to make a dexterity saving throw.
8.
It fails.
I would hope so.
9, 15, unfortunately a 1. 16 points of necrotic damage. And I get the spell end. Let's see. Until the spell ends, you can use the action of each of your turns to automatically deal 4d8 necrotic damage to the target. Whenever the spell deals damage to the target, you regain hit points equal to half of the amount of necrotic damage it takes.
Okay. Yeah, that's this life energy just pulling from the creature to you. It almost looks like its blood is being pulled into the shadow as your own flesh begins to knit back together.
So what would you say, half of 15, 7?
Half of 16, right? 8.
15.
Oh. Yeah, round up.
Was it?
We're going to round up on damage and healing and stuff because it makes things move just a little quicker.
Okay.
Rounding down just slows stuff down.
Cool.
Give him a hit point back. A little bit of his flesh knits back together as though the gods made an error. Just a tiny bit. Anything else from Kyan? Your turn.
So that was action. What do I have for bonus action? Oh, I forgot I have that. Thank God I looked. I'm gonna push that bastard a little bit away from me.
Okay.
So then he starts to focus in and just like a trail of dust coming from Kaya to the beast, and it tries to push him back. I'm not sure how far, but it needs to make a 17 strength saving throw.
Got a natural 20 for 26.
Okay.
As the force bashes into it, but these long, just spike-like legs stick into the dirt around it and just kind of hold it in place. Anything else from you, Kai?
That's it.
And then you didn't move away, so you're still technically within melee of it.
Yeah.
It is.
I didn't want to take the attack of opportunity.
Well, it has 3 attacks, which it's going to make full use of. The bite towards Kaya is, because you're the one closest to its face, is a 16 to hit.
Disadvantage?
Disadvantage. 16.
Yeah. Okay.
You did prevent a crit there, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Lots of dice. I'm just going to re-roll that from 15, 22, 25, 31 points of piercing damage.
Fuck, I really need... Oh, man, I should have gone over some of it. There's so much shit that I'm missing right now. Okay. How much damage? Sorry.
31 points of piercing damage.
I believe Kaya does drop, but give me just a moment here.
Okay.
Because there's another thing.
I didn't know if you drop or not.
I have to find it. Fuck. There's so much shit here. Okay, Kaya drops, and you go ahead and continue on with whatever it is that you're doing.
Okay. As Kaya drops, it's going to turn to the next. Oh god. Well, the direwolf and the dragonborn are very similarly threatening.
Ooh, never mind. Kaya doesn't drop.
Kaya doesn't drop.
Kaya
does he have the? Okay.
So, it depends, because technically I wouldn't have been able to roll that high, but I got a natural 20.
Okay.
So I don't know. That would put me at 29, but I don't
know what you're doing. I don't know what you're
talking about there.
Wind damage that isn't from radiant or crit reduces you to 0 HP. You make a charisma saving throw, DC 5 plus the damage taken. On success, you drop to 1 HP instead.
With where you got a natural 20, I'm gonna allow this. What I'm also going to allow is you do hit the ground, like you lose consciousness for a moment, long enough for this creature's attention to shift to.
Okay.
Odds will evens Mike to the giant wolf that has run up on it. As 2 legs strike out, that is a 13 on the first hit.
Oh, now you roll a
miss.
fucking 13.
And the second is a 22.
That hits.
Where's my phone? Pixie dust is not really working out so well as battle music.
I appreciate that. That's 7, 10, 16, 22 slashing damage. One of the claws kind of goes over your head. Another one drives down into your paw, Mike. And that is going to end its turn. No, it has been pretty hurt. No, it has prey that is right there for the take. It's not hurt that bad. Oreltin.
Oreltin will just continue in that blind rage, beating the hell out of it with a longsword.
Okay.
Find it. Actually, as a bonus action, before we do that, I will channel the power of List, and similar to how the shadows came out of Bower, shadows will also come out of me and latch onto the centipede as I cast Vow of Enmity on it. to get advantage on attack rolls against it for 1 minute.
There's a difference here because as shadows extend, and it's like Kai's own shadow that extends out and does this. For you, it's the existing shadows deepen, and almost as though some shadowed figure reaches up and coalesces around this creature as your mark takes hold.
For a 9 or not great 13 on the first attack.
The 13 misses.
And on the second, there's a dirty 20 or a dirty 19. So a 20 on the second one.
20 hits.
Okay. And similarly, the shadows will gather around my blade this time, and you see it almost look like the shadows pull my blade down as I Divine Smite with a 3rd level into the centipede.
Okay. Divine Smite is radiant damage, right?
I think it can be either. Let me look. Traits.
I can also look at this. Divine Smite.
Right.
Where's Paladin, Divine Smite? Here we go. Yep, radiant damage.
Oh,
And I'm going to need you to roll the radiant damage separately for me, so I know what that is.
radiant damage first then. Radiant damage is going to be 8. And the regular damage is going to be 14.
All right. The 14 damage, the sword sinks in the same shadows that brought your blade down with that little extra force, catch onto the edges of the wound that opens up in the carapace and begins to like tear it open, as it is vulnerable to radiant damage. And so that is doubled for a nice total of 30 points of damage.
Hell yeah. And I'm not going to move away, so that will conclude my turn.
Okay. Alder.
Gonna go ahead and stay in my direwolf and just attack again. And I consider these guys my allies at this point. We're fighting the same thing.
That's it.
So pack tactics.
Enemy of your enemy at the very least.
So that would be a 19 to hit.
19 hits.
Ooh, that was good. That'll be 12 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And again, strength saving throw of 13.
13. This is its best saving throw. 9.
Cool. Knocked prone again.
With the worst luck. It is prone again. Anything else from the direwolf?
Nope, that's it.
We go up to Kaya. You've got a prone monstrosity, this aberration before you.
With that, he is again going to stand up, but there's still a shadow linked to this creature.
Was that a
so-
constitution? Or is that a concentration thing?
Right.
With DC 16 from the damage you took on your concentration.
Well over 23.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm going to put another charge into that. That is 8, 13, 15, 16.
16. All right, so you heal another 8, takes 16 more points of damage.
Oh shit. 1. I never took my damage apparently from last time, so let me.
You had
Do
1, so
that.
I should put you at 9.
Yeah. So with that, and then as a where is it? Where are you? As a bonus action, Can I do that? Doesn't say it's concentration, so yeah, why wouldn't I be able to? So as a bonus action, out from the shadows that are currently linked to it is going to pop out another dire wolf, but this one black fur with the ice blue eyes.
Okay. As it rises up from the shadows that have kind of been coalescing around you, as your shadow begins seeping into the surroundings. Two paws of another shadowed direwolf pull itself out of this pool of inky blackness. Does it act on your initiative?
It doesn't say, but I'm pretty sure that's how we did it in the past.
Cool. Then let's go for it. It's your inky direwolf's turn.
Okay. It is going to.
Okay, this is the first time this has happened since Oreltin, since you entered a contract with the goddess List. And just like the smudged handprint on your chest, just that slightly distorted, there's this fuzziness around the edges to your wolf. This odd, like where it used to be crisp, it's this blurry, like you're not quite able to fully focus on it. It's still fully, there's no changes to how it works mechanically for you. But you notice that it's kind of equally distorted. It's affected by the same thing that is kind of masking your presence from the servants of Haran.
Okay. Okay. Then it automatically knows the target's location if the target is hiding. Roll initiative for this hound. I take that back.
We can just run it on your initiative. I think that's fine.
Okay.
That's just easier, I think, so I don't actually skip it.
Additionally, while the hound is within 5 feet of the target, disadvantage on saving throws against any spells that I cast. Hound disappears, reduces 0 hit points, or after 5 minutes. So you're a howling creature. Sorry, I'm double checking. Okay, just regular direwolf stats. Perfect. Okay. So then, it goes to attack. That is a 16 plus 3.
Then it hits.
Actions, bite, plus 5. Okay. Okay, then it is going to take 2d6. Where are my d6? Good enough. Oh, wow, max damage. 15.
Okay. That's the inky direwolf bites down similarly. And you roll with advantage. It's a melee attack. It's prone. So just in case you get a crit. No? Okay.
Worse.
That's
Much worse.
Bites down on kind of the exposed underbelly from where this creature's been knocked to the ground. At the end of your turn,
I'm actually going to back the fuck up this time.
It is going to make an attack of opportunity at disadvantage because it's prone. 13. I rolled a 16 and a 2.
Thank God.
I think a 13 misses.
It does, just barely.
Yes. It stands up. Instead of making a full round of attacks, it turns its head and the mandibles begin chattering and clicking directly into your face, Alder. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Plus 5 to it.
Okay, cool. 32.
Yeah, that you feel like a tinge, like a tickle in the back of your head, like something's like, hey, maybe we should be paralyzed. Like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. And just every fiber of your being shuts that down. The creature, bloodied and hurt, failing to catch what it originally thought was easy prey, is going to turn and try to run into the forest. Uses half its movement to stand up. So it can't move away very quickly, and it's going to take attacks of opportunity from the 3 that are near it if you would like to use your reactions to make an attack of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm going to, but I'm sure it's going to miss with a 9. So.
9 misses.
Still have advantage on it. So there's a
Right.
10 and a 21.
21 will hit.
17.
17
Sorry.
hits.
I'd like to drop another Divine Smite into it, so non-radiant damage is going to be 13.
Okay.
And radiant damage is going to be 16.
16 doubled to 32 for a total of 45 points of damage. And the Shadow Wolf. Okay.
8 points of piercing.
Okay, 8 points of piercing. That brings us to carry the 1.
What about it's always carry the 1?
Oh, I guess it could technically be knocked prone too, but it'd have to roll real fucking low.
Yeah, I mean, it has been on these strength saving throws.
Yeah, well, this one,
What's
13.
the DC?
13.
12. I rolled a natural 1.
That's been
No, so
missing
not
the-
even 12. Not even 12. 7.
Yeah, it's been missing the 13s on me too.
Yeah, just
Okay.
so it turns to run, it gets clobbered, and then get immediately knocked on its face. It can use its other 10 feet of movement to stand back up, but is and it'll move. It is currently 10 feet away from you guys as it scrambles to get away from you. And we move to Oreltin.
I will slowly walk 10 feet as it scrambles back to its feet and impale it one more time.
Okay. Give me your attack roll.
I have advantage on these. 10 and 23.
23 hits.
I'm assuming it's looking pretty cut up.
It's significantly bloodied. It still has a bit to it.
Okay. We will...
Looking better than Kaya.
Aren't we all? So we'll drop the normal damage into it for 7 and the lower Divine Smite into it for another D8. Of 8 points of damage, double to 16.
8 points. 16. And then it was 7 before that, so a total
Yep.
of 23. Yep. It is getting pretty beat, and it's beginning to look panicked as we get to Alder.
Can I run up on it and bite its neck?
Okay.
18.
18 hits.
And that is 7 points of piercing.
So points of piercing and
Sorry,
another.
8 points of piercing. My bad.
And it does not make its saving throw and is knocked prone again.
Sick.
Sorry, how much damage?
It was 8.
8. Anything else from you?
Nope, that's it.
It's knocked prone. Kaya, this thing is prone again.
So here's the question that I have. I could technically use Quickened and do just a cantrip for my bonus action, right?
So this might upset some purists out there if anybody's watching. If you can cast a spell as a bonus action, I don't care what the level is. You can,
Okay.
if you give anything that like action, bonus action, I don't want to do the math on spell economy. If you want to quick fire spells and you're able to, do it. It's cool. It's cool stuff.
Cool.
I'm going to
All right,
balance it by occasionally doing it to you.
Cool. Well, then I will Quicken and do a 4th level chromatic orb with, I guess, fire damage.
Okay. You coalesce, just reaching out, and you draw shadows between your hands, which begin to swirl and compress till they invert. So much pressure that the shadow begins to burn and spiral between your hands.
68. So I have 4 right now, so 13.
Sorry, that was 6d8, not 68, right? Okay.
21. 2 more. That is a 6 and a 7, so 13. So 34 points of fire damage.
34 points of fire damage. Okay. The fire sears into the side, like turning some of the legs to just char.
Okay.
It's still standing.
And then Kaya is going to step forward till he's within 30 feet. And again, that it was a very, very thin, shadowed line. As he stepped forward, it started to thicken or to grow and bolden. And he is again going to do another attack on that, which that is 7, 9, 10 flat points of necrotic damage.
Okay, so you're healed for 5.
5 for me.
As you step forward and like you're grabbing a rope and wrapping it around your hands, you pull, and this thing's own shadow gets ripped away from it, flooding into your body as it just collapses to the ground, still orange and smoldering where your chromatic orb had hit it before. Wounds torn open by shadows that have seemed to assist people through the fight. Its legs broken and just shattered from where the bites of wolves have pulled it to the ground. As we leave combat,
I will immediately sheath my sword, pull out the censure and my shield, and put myself in between Bauer and the wolf.
The wolf is currently ripping its head off, like ripping the centipede's head off until it's just like completely separated.
Okay.
And then I'll turn around and look at him and just kind of bow my head to him and take one step forward and just see how they react.
Not an aggressive step, I assume?
No, just like I bow my head and I take one step.
Okay, I'm going to keep my stuff up as I cast Life Transference and take 5d8 damage myself, and Bauer recovers that. I'll make sure he recovers that. Equal to twice the necrotic damage I take. So I'm going to take 5d8. 19, and Bauer will get, what was that, 38 back?
Yeah.
38 back.
God damn.
The shadows kind of pooling, especially around this, since you have the censure out, pool around your arm and then tighten, leaving just black lines kind of coiled, which fade after a moment. That pulses, but again, those wounds begin to like kind of heal up, leaving faint scars.
And I'm not going to put my guard down until the wolf backs up.
I would assume that he's an ally?
And seeing that they're still very nervous, I'll drop my shape. And what stands before you...
Which makes us more nervous.
Shit!
Well, maybe not. But what stands before you is a human male. He's got auburn hair, 3 claw marks across the left side of his face, kind of over his eye. He's just, wearing, where was it? I've got it all written down here. Appearance. Huh. Anyway, yeah, pretty nonchalant. Just wearing, just your standard leather armor, tan skin, auburn eyes, slightly different from his wolf, and he just, thank you, friends. That bug's been chasing me for weeks.
Weeks.
Yeah, I don't know where it's come from, but thank you.
Yeah.
Alder's the name.
Kaya Bauer.
Bro.
Do you mind if I heal you?
I assume he's talking to Bauer, so I'll look over my shoulder.
Yeah, I mean, sure.
All right, and I'll go ahead and cast Mass Cure Wounds at 5th level. And everybody can get 20 points of healing.
Wow. Nice. A lot fucking better.
Hopefully that helps.
Yeah.
Seems good. Care to tell us a little bit more about your story, or you just make a life running away from huge bugs?
Well, you know, when you travel alone, you become an easy target. So.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys, you said you were headed towards what was it? Korth?
Yeah. How did you? So okay, wait a minute. I'm putting the pieces together here. You were the puppy.
Yeah.
Got it. I see. Yeah, we're heading to Korth.
You mind if I tag along?
I don't see a problem with it. What? So, and apologies. What was your name one more time?
Alder.
Alder.
Tree.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It's all coming together. Yeah, go ahead. Or come along, I suppose. I don't have
Yeah, I mean, what business do you have in Korth?
Oh, just visiting. Nothing too important.
Right. Yeah, us too.
You're wearing shoes.
Yes.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, I'm a little tired now, and it's kind of cold standing over here in the dark with, so maybe we go back to, our fire, nice, warm, potentially my bed.
Yeah, and I can stay up and watch tonight. It's the least I can do.
Yeah, look, I don't I don't mean to be offensive here, but
no.
I don't know you.
No, I understand. I understand.
So, I appreciate it, but so how much longer till my watch?
I think I still got a couple hours.
Oh, thank God. He's gonna start trekking back. His wolf will catch back up to him and then just sink back into his shadow.
Okay. Kind of going back into Oreltin's watch. Alder, are you staying up with him? Or are you just settling in to get some rest as well?
I'd ask him if he wanted some company. And...
Yeah, if you want to stay up. If you want to catch some Z's too, that's all right.
I can help.
Sure. Where are you from, Alder?
Oh, just a little commune. Nothing. You probably wouldn't have heard of it.
Right. Northeast, southwest, directly on this spot?
More towards the south. Yeah, it's just my family and I and a few other people. I
You hunt bugs.
try to keep
or
to
bugs
ourselves.
on you, rather.
Well, you know, that's the first time I've run into one of those. Not not a common occurrence, but not sure why.
To
Go ahead.
just to expand on that for you, Alder, what had happened was about a week and a half ago, almost 2 weeks, you had crossed just too close to what you think was a nest of these. You had caught in glimpses of more, but only the one saw you and has been aggressively pursuing you. But you saw what looked like a large crack in the earth, and you saw several of them dragging animal carcasses and such in at the base of the mountain.
Gotcha. I'll explain that and just. I don't know. He's. You know, most things when they hunt, they go for the kill immediately. But this one, he was like playing with me.
Must be a bug thing. Spiders do that too, right?
I guess. Just don't get the enjoyment of killing something outright.
Yes. Thank the gods more of them didn't see you. Biting off one was a pain in the ass enough.
Yeah. How about you guys? Where are you from?
I'm from up north. Traveled a little bit, and I think it's time for some warmer climate.
The warmth is nice.
Well, it's not bad either, but spend most of your life in it and start looking for something different. Change of pace.
Definitely. I think I don't have any other dramatic questions to ask, so.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that's rest of your watch goes by. Give me perception checks.
More bugs.
Oh, Jesus Christ. 10.
5.
Nothing that really comes to attention. You wake up Kaya for his watch.
Up and at him.
Don't I get just a little bit longer where the whole, like, you were on watch and it drug me off into the fucking woods?
You do not, and I just roll over in my sleeping bag.
Cool. All right.
Alder, do you go to bed as well?
I'll ask him the same question. If he wants company, I'll stay up with him. And
Maybe at least till I wake up a little bit.
Make sure he doesn't fall asleep.
I would never. On a day that ends in Z.
That's a good one.
Okay. So Alder, what do you do for a hobby?
Chew on sticks. Just kidding. That's the wolf thing.
I was gonna say it's very fascinating.
You know, just go through the forest and travel around a bit. Like to just be with nature, you know?
Okay. So you're a nature guy. Do you know a lot about maybe some maybe fruits?
Yeah. I mean, we have fruits back home.
Right, but some that might be rare to the area.
No, not really. I mean, would there be any fruits that I could think of that I know
One
aren't
comes to
present
mind.
up north, but I mean, that I know are not present up north for sure?
Give me a nature check.
Okay. 15.
Maybe a couple. Not anything exotic comes to mind, but there's a lot of. I'm trying to think of like deciduous fruits, and I'm sure there are some, and you know what they are.
Yeah, I would say
They're not too exotic.
I mean, there's one fruit, but it stinks.
I mean, sometimes that makes the best brew.
I mean, if you say so. Speaking of that brew, do you mind? Now that I'm not a puppy?
Right. Sure. You can have a little bit. You want to permanently increase your hit points by 10?
What? Just...
that is what happened when we took a drink for the first time. All of our HP was permanently up by 10. I would have 81 hit points if I did not have that brew. I would have been dead well before then.
Yeah, that's the couple drops was not enough, but your hit points permanently increased by 10 as like pure vital energy infuses you.
All right.
Which is, again, I'm not gonna out you on stats here. Already a pretty beastie constant like health pool you've got.
Yeah. I'm doing pretty good.
Good. I have someone to stand in front of me. Actually, I've had people to stand in front of me. It doesn't fucking matter.
I don't. It's not that I. It's not like I specifically like to assassinate you. It's just the way that it works out. Yeah, you were asleep. Oreltin was immune to the maddening presence after already passing it. The puppy was smaller. You were the best target there.
Oh. Alder, I'm going to show you how you craft a morning brew in record time with very little supplies. And
kick my feet back and relax.
He is going to take out a few buckets, a couple small little metallic tubes, and gonna start smushing some just regular old berries. And trying to help with the fermentation process by, getting it a little bit closer to, or like getting it within that right range of a fire, and just getting it all set.
Weaving a little bit of magic as you've grown more proficient both as a brewer and as a sorcerer. Give me a brewing check. This would be what are we doing? This is intelligence plus your proficiency modifier.
It definitely was not intelligence. I can tell you that. We might have been doing it under performance. I don't know.
I think
it wouldn't have been performance.
Or maybe it was my sleight of hand. I don't know.
No, you know what? We're going to say because I just said this, as you become more proficient as a brewer and as a sorcerer, begin incorporating magic into your brewing, use your spell casting modifier. Like your spell attack modifier is what you're going to start adding to your brewing.
Oh my fuck. That's a nat 20.
It's a natural 20. What's your spell attack modifier?
I keep doing nat 20s on... Anyway, 9.
29, huh? Where's my other 10?
Yeah, I don't have Tarly to help me this time, so it won't be a permanent stat increase.
Yeah, well, no, this is like you said. You're working with limited time, limited equipment. This is the best you could do. What is Kai aiming for with his morning brew?
So just a kind of like a juice type, more flavorful, more like energy. So not obviously. I don't think I have oranges on hand. So
you're going to your Jamba Juice with the B12 and
there you go. Yeah.
Right?
There you go. Okay. Yeah, sure.
Alder, you will not need to sleep tonight. Kaya, you won't be able to fall asleep at the end of your watch, which is the norm. And if you set it enough aside for Oreltin, he'll get just a nice. It's just that perfect morning start. There's not really any additional mechanical things. It's not gonna like make it so he doesn't have to sleep the next night, but you got, yeah, it's delicious. It is nutritious, and yeah, it just reinvigorates you. It soothes your muscles from running and the exhaustion you've already been feeling from being hunted by that creature. Alden, you sip, and you kind of just let it reinvigorate you before you kind of both like kind of that basking when you have just something just delicious and really good, and you kind of relax, and you both turn to the side and realize that the insectoid creature is gone.
Well, that's probably not good.
Like the head and the body are both gone. Just making sure.
Yep. That's it's just been, there are clear like drag marks where it has been dragged into the woods at some point that nobody noticed.
Well, that surely can't be bad.
Yeah. Maybe that, you know what? That one's on me.
Okay.
Should we
Sure.
wake the big guy up?
And also for the
just let him sleep.
Alder, for your sake, though it has been, like I said, a week and a half, almost 2 weeks that you've been running, you have not made it terribly far. You've been having to like rapidly oscillate between moving incredibly quickly to like slowly and hiding. If you were just going through the forest, you're just a couple days away from where you first encountered this. You've been zigzagging and weaving and winding, doubling back and trying to like set traps.
Gotcha. And does it look like, because this had a bunch of feet, does it look like a bunch of feet are what dragged it away?
You can make me a survival check.
I would love to. I would not love to.
Yeah,
it's a 10.
There's so much like churned up earth with where this thing was and where you fought it, where it was running back and forth and whipping around its tremendous body. Even a 10 can't hide the fact that there are extra sets of these prints in and out of the forest, and clear like broken underbrush where the body was dragged off.
Well, I thought it was just one. But what is it like, the pheromones other animals can smell of themselves and finding their homes?
I have no idea.
Ah, yeah, maybe we keep an eye out.
Okay. Kind of keep this in mind. He is not happy if you wake him up. Well, he's never happy, but don't wake him up.
Understood. So we just sit here and wait.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that this is the morning routine, apparently, for waking Oreltin up. Just sit and wait.
Which is what you do. Oreltin, how long do you feel like sleeping in, I guess?
Probably until my body naturally wakes me up, which is probably pretty early, actually.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say pretty early. You're greeted with, Kaya's Jamba Juice creation. Perks you right up.
Good power. Or
Yeah,
this
that
guy.
was
Didn't have this last night.
this one was kind of an experiment and went real well. So as you know, sometimes they go real bad.
This wasn't one of those times, and I'll finish the rest of it.
Okay. The big question before you move on is, are you allowing Alder to travel with you?
Yeah, I think so.
No reason not to.
To Korth, then.
One step closer to your destiny. As you travel through the woods, only another couple of days travel. You don't encounter any further major threats. You know, the occasional animal that a predator that decides you might be prey that you either, you know, you're at this point powerful enough that like any normal creature that would attack you, you can scare off, murderize, or the druid can diplomacy his way out of the situation. So we'll skip through most of that. It's on the last leg of your journey as you come out of the trees and in the distance. Make sure I'm got this right. Here we go. You see at the base of kind of the beginning set of mountains on another ridge that you've been kind of passing through the major pass. The great walled city of Korth. Approaching, there are some travelers kind of passing through the great gates, a massive iron portcullis, in a highly defensively built city. The walls stand 100 feet tall, and as you approach, you can see they're easily 20 feet thick, encircling the entirety of the city, all the way up to the base of the large mountain. The range extending into the distance. Getting near the walls, you see that there are a military encampment. Not huge, like no major army has been mobilizing, but getting nearer and nearer to the gates, you can see large fields where men are being trained and running drills. And there's individuals that are like practice dueling and practice skirmishes, marching drills, all under the flag of Ostermere. At the gate, a dwarf stands in heavy plate armor. Right, travelers. Approach. What's your business in the city?
I'll like hold out the vestments and show the crest. We're religious travelers. We're here proselytizing.
Right, and he looks and goes, I'm not sure what god that is, but it don't look like Skjorr, so I don't think we'll have too much of a problem. Do you travel under any particular banner? Any lord, Rebecca, kingdom?
Just travelers.
Right, then just the 5 gold fee each, and you're free to pass into the city. And he holds out his hand.
I will drop 5 gold of my own and look at Alder.
I guess I'm trying to talk here and my shit was muted. Hold on. Wait just a second. Is it 5 gold or are you just trying to extort?
I'm sorry. Did you just accuse me, member of the Royal Gate Guard, of extortion? He's kind of leaning forward, but he is having to look up because, again, he's short. Are you trying to extort me?
No.
Or accusing me of extortion, sorry.
I would never
Oreltin, you
accuse-
look, and clearly to the side, you see somebody who, like, waves at one of the other guards who just, like, gestures him through.
Now,
Don't mind him. He comes and goes in the city all the time. We know him. He's paid his fee.
I see. So you're telling me that you remember every single person who's ever been into the city?
No, just the regulars.
Just the regulars.
He points
I
at
see.
the wrong guy.
Right.
Come on,
So,
you've all got fancy clothes and gear. I can tell adventurers when I see them. And if you're here for the guilt, you've got the gold. So come on, just easy on both of us, eh?
Easy for both of us. Why would I take the easy road?
Because it's the easy route, and you're an adventurer. I
But
thought
I'm using my hard-earned gold to get into some place that's free. How is that the easy way?
Look, you've got me there. 3 silver each. We'll call it good.
As this
How about
conversation's
free
happening,
and I don't say anything?
Alder's just gonna walk over to the other guard and go up to walk in.
Any contraband to declare, or any agricultural goods, produce, food?
Nope,
Don't
just
really
visiting.
Contraband. Why did I say that?
Just come to
Right,
see the
well-
wonderful town.
Not traveling any banner? No lord or lady specifically report to?
Nope.
All right, enjoy Osmir.
Thank you. And I'll walk in. And then I'll just kind of make my way back behind, like, inside but behind the guard that they're arguing with, and be like,
Guard looks over his shoulder and just pointedly ignores you. 3 silver. Look, you've got me. You've talked me down from 5 gold to 3 silver, and I think that's perfectly fine. You work for a church. You're clearly out adventuring, doing world of good. That's
Right. Sure. Why not? And as I reach into my pouch, I pull out a gold. I'll be like, this should cover. And as I'm gonna try to kife his purse or whatever it is.
okay. Thank you. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Do I have advantage? Hold on, I have that key. What does that key do for me? I know it does stealth things, maybe. Maybe. Transform the key into a magic dagger or back to a key. Don't really need a dagger.
Unless you're gonna
Holding this
stab him in the neck.
key.
Sure,
Pass-
here's your
pass
gold.
without-
Stab.
While holding this key, your steps are muffled. Can be used as thief tools. Okay, that doesn't do shit for me. Go 15.
15's enough. That's as he takes the gold coin from you and like turns to enjoy Ostermere. You manage to slip his purse off of his hip.
And you too.
What are you doing business? And the other guard who just let Alder through goes, every time.
And then make our way in.
There's 6 gold pieces and like 14 silver.
So 4 gold, because I had to. You said 6, so 5.
Yeah.
5 gold, 14 silver.
And you make your way into the city of Korth. The architecture here is primarily a rod of stone. The majority of houses also seem to be built with like dwarven architecture in mind, but a little odd for us because we're used to like envisioning dwarves as building like into mountains and underground, but having these kind of large, heavy stone, squat buildings above ground is odd. Like you kind of get that feeling like you're walking through stone-carved caves, but the open sky is above you. And the majority of the population does appear to be dwarven. Perks of that being, the smell of smoke and like smithing tools is just as heavy on the air of that of brewers and alchemists. And craftsmen and tradespeople. Even though it's early in the morning, there are several taverns that seem to be bustling with the people that work there carrying large plates of heavy breakfast foods to busy, loud, kind of boisterous tables of not just dwarves, humans and elves, but this kind of city's mentality has adopted this like we play hard so that we can work hard so that we can play hard. You know, it's not a coffee. You have a coffee stout in the morning and the same thing at night because it wakes you up just as much as it puts you down. In this kind of bustling industrial, exposed to the sky dwarven city.
Oh, this makes me want to go back to the Giants' Rest.
Where do we start, Bauer?
Probably a tavern.
I meant with finding our folks, but yeah, a drink sounds good.
Perfect.
Okay. You just picking the nearest tavern that's there.
Yep.
Plenty to squat. Okay. You turn to the right, and the first one you see is like packed. You're not gonna be seated for a while, but like halfway down the block, there's another one that seems pretty busy. People that are just as happy, but you're able to kind of shoulder your way in and grab a table kind of close to the door as some of the other patrons are heading off, kind of grumbling about having to get started working already. This one is the stone and chisel. Lean into the motif. A few minutes go by, and there's kind of a young. He has clean-shaven cheeks, but kind of a long braided beard that just comes from his chin. Kind of the braided mustache that comes down and like waves into that beard. Hair on top, same thing, shaved on the sides, but the top is like braided into a long kind of pony hawk. I don't know what that would be called. But hey, three of you. That's the special? Something to drink? What are we doing? You all seem like you're out of town. You're not me. Yeah, special it is, right? 3 of those?
What's the special? Something with meat?
Lots
Let
of
me
meat.
rephrase. Something with meat.
Right, special's gonna do you. That comes with a ½ pound of bacon, 2 pounds of sausage, and a great heap of leftover potatoes from last night's feast. All right, and 6 beers all around. Got it. Right, he turns and just walks off.
I don't know.
6, right? Perfect.
You said something about a feast last night? I don't know.
Yeah,
Kind
I
of
wonder-
looks like the town where they party for any particular reason, huh?
Yeah, but well, hopefully not because they're overrun by satyrs. But
Have you seen that town overrun by satyrs partying?
once. Yeah.
It's probably enough. Once.
Oh, take it wasn't a good time then.
No.
For some people, I imagine it was, but not for us.
For most, it probably wasn't. So anyway, Alder.
Yeah.
So what's your plan now that you're here?
I'll just seeing the sights. Like I said, don't really have much in play, but might ask around and see if anybody's heard of any new things happening and new adventures to be had. Just kind of out on my own.
Well, I've got you here. Have you ever heard of List?
Have I ever heard of List? Probably not, I'm assuming.
I'm going to say no, but I'm just loving the... Have you heard of our Lord and Savior List? Do you have a moment to talk about List?
Are you talking about like a list of things to do?
Not quite, but
no.
I mean...
No, there's no I in list. It's a Y.
Yeah.
List.
Nope, just List.
Okay. What is List?
All right. Well, List is, and I'm going to go into a pamphlet and start reading off the pamphlet.
It's trifold.
Yep.
I'm gonna sit in the back and try and not interject. Let the newbie handle it.
Yeah. So basically, because I A, am not good with coming up with that shit on the spot, and B, don't know if I really want to. He is just going to basically like just kind of go over some of the stuff with like, look, here's the thing, it's a new god. Like, well, not really a new god, it's actually an old god that's been here for a long time, but a lot of people forgot about her. And then you know.
Well, Alden, how interested are you in this god so far?
I'm like, well, I mean, how does she feel about nature?
She loves nature.
But what about it?
Everything.
Gotcha. I love.
You want to join? Gotcha. Okay, I'll let Liz know.
No.
And although I don't really have a direct line of contact, that's more of Elton's thing back there. But
who's Elton?
Elton.
Yo.
I thought it was Oreltin.
Hey, Elton.
Oh,
Make the connection.
got it. Yep, there we go.
So, but no, in all reality, you know, List honestly has saved me in more ways than one. And that's the reason why I'm here doing what I'm doing. I'm not trying to shove a religion down your throat. Shit, I didn't even have a religion before this point in time. But I was
All right,
in
3 specials as ordered.
Perfect.
He sets down 3 huge plates. He turns around and takes from there's an elven woman behind him that is holding a platter, and he takes 2 beers, puts them in front of Oreltin. He reaches back up, takes 2 beers, puts them in front of Alder, and then 2 more beers, and he puts them in front of Kaya. He goes, "Hey, that's we'll be paying with gold or credit."
what's credit?
Credit, right? Not from around here. That's the banking house. They offer you can give them all your gold, and they just give you a little slip of paper that says how much gold you've got. You can write me a little slip of paper that I can give to my manager. He can go to the bank, and they'll take that slip of paper and to put that number onto his slip of paper.
So what happens
Seems
if the numbers
convoluted.
don't match up?
They hunt and kill you.
Got
Gold
it.
it
How much?
is.
How much gold is it?
Just reach in and hand him a stack of gold.
It's like 1 gold each for the meals and drinks.
Give him 3.
Right. Never run across to the banks. Enjoy your food. Yell at me if you need me. And he just turns around and starts hitting the next table.
Perfect.
Well, look, I'm
No.
very glad that you found somebody for you, but Durin's my home.
Durin?
Yeah, you know, the god of nature and light and death.
I do. I thought you meant Durin as in a place. Wasn't
Oh.
familiar.
No.
I good on you for sticking with who you're with.
I'll raise a
Although
glass.
I'm just saying List is probably better, but you know.
Link as well.
Well,
That's
anyway,
as you guys are with the list is definitely better. There's like a shadow that the shadows underneath Orelton's mug as he goes to clink, like kind of pulse and expand. But simultaneously, there's a feather, or not a feather. There's a flower like in a vase at the end of the table, just like decoration that like opens and blooms, but then wilts, just very subtle. As these 2 gods kind of just exert pressure from both directions.
didn't mean to start a god war, but okay.
I will say that's you're all connected to these deities in different ways, and there's no malice. It's just them both kind of acknowledging that. Yeah.
Well, what do you think our first step should be, Elton?
probably tell Alder here what we're getting up to if he's sticking around. You hanging with us, or you've got places to be?
No, like I said, I'm just traveling, so I'm down to stick around. And I would, if I can make a suggestion, I would say, Kaya, maybe work on your pitch a little bit with Oreltin.
Oh, I mean, that's the thing. I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on this. I mean, slightly. You're kind of the first person I've done a pitch to. Honestly, you're more like the guinea pig here. I've seen where I've gone wrong, in some ways. So I'm gonna change it up next time, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think the second half was really good. You explained why she's so important to you. First half, I just throw that out.
Yeah, it's kind of like somebody annoying coming up to your door in a suit and talking to you about. Anyway, we'll
work on it. It's his first time, so it's going to be a little rough around the edges.
Well, I mean, not that these up here kind of make much of a difference, but I mean, he doesn't exactly have the most. How do I put this politely? He's ugly as shit.
Talk about me.
No. The guy behind you. It's a wall.
The Earth Genasi who you thought was a wall, like, turns. Are you calling me ugly, little one?
No, I would actually call you invisible. I didn't see you there. I'm so sorry.
Unnecessarily hurtful. Turns back to his food and is like kind of slouches a little bit.
Oh no. Shit. Anyway, well,
I see you.
So,
well, Aldi, I'm gonna call you Aldi if you don't mind. I don't like using full names. Kind of a
he doesn't.
PTSD kind of thing.
Sure.
So Aldi, I mean, I guess the reason we're here, I'm not going to go into what we've done up to this point, but I'm looking for someone, and a few people are looking for me and him. Oh man, how am I going to tell you this without divulging an entire, maybe potentially 30 episode series?
I mean, maybe if people are looking for you, we don't talk in such a open area.
Yeah, the best places to hide is in plain sight. And to be honest, I don't really think that many people are listening other than, well, the very handsome looking Earth Genasi behind me.
Make a persuasion check.
What do I got for persuasion? +9. So a dirty 20.
He kind of shifts a little bit and kind of straightens his back. Right. I am handsome. You just kind of hear him mutter under his breath.
You sure are. Anyway. But, I mean... Yeah, I mean, so basically the person that we're looking for, he's been known to travel between Feldenwaith and Ostermanir.
Well,
and yeah, well, and I don't know, I guess you wouldn't know this, but my this is actually kind of close to where I'm from.
I wouldn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well,
this particular individual we're looking for is associated with a group that is not easy to just ask about. So, kind of at a loss of where to start. So really, I mean, talking about it here and being overheard might be as good a lead as anything we've got. Really.
True.
you tell me who to keep an eye out for, and I'll keep an eye out.
Well, I mean, we're looking for really any individual that could lead us to the Night's Eye.
Well, he mentions the Night's Eye. I know we're in a bustling tavern, but I'll keep an eye out for anybody that may perk up at the mention of any keywords.
I'll say right now, I don't need a perception check. Nobody really shifts or moves to hone in on your conversation that's brought up.
Particularly, he is from what I've heard, a third-party recruiter for the Night's Eye. The guy that I'm looking for. As well as anyone with I'm not sure if they're all the same or not, but the ones that I've seen, and I'm gonna just kind of open my shirt just a little bit and show him the handprint tattoo, but it is very smeared and distorted looking. So this used to be just a solid black handprint and almost like runes etched around it. And it in varying degrees. Some are very dark and almost look like maybe it's spreading throughout the body. Others are very light and faint, just kind of depending on where they're at.
Where the people are at, or where the mark's at?
I mean, I guess you could say where the people are at. Where they stand in line.
As you're like focusing and drawing, like putting your attention at that mark, you feel almost a tug, like something pulls on you, not physically, but similarly to like when you're using magic that kind of has an extra like a metaphysical aspect, like this subconscious pull in a direction.
Eldon, I don't know how other way to explain this, but I feel like we need to go that way.
Okay. Can I at least finish dinner, or we gotta go now?
Now that you felt it, you can focus on it. You can feel, instead of like a tug, just like a continuous pull, like there's a string. There's a little bit of tension.
I don't think we'd have to go just the second. I'm gonna keep focusing on it, and just to make sure that it doesn't feel like it's gonna fade or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah,
I think we can.
Great. I'll hurriedly eat all the bacon and sausage.
Okay. There's a lot of food, like piles of meat and potatoes here.
Big dragonborn.
I'll probably get through a quarter of it.
Same. Pie is teeny tiny.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we're not asking and we're following hunches, then let's do that.
It's just I don't know. I feel a pull from specifically here.
Since you focused on it the entire time you were eating, you realize that it's not just, there's one strong one, but focusing on it, that like there's very faint pulls as well in like different directions that you're only picking up on because this one caught your attention.
You know, I may have found a way to find others. It's hard to discern where I have one that's, I would assume, close by, but I think I might have a connection to the others.
Way to find out. I'll
Yeah.
just nudge him off in a direction.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Okay. And you leave the tavern.
And I guess as it is, I'm just gonna kind of, first things first, I'm a little leery because where we are in the middle of town, it's definitely a different pace for Kaya. I mean, as where he was in jail for a very long time and then got shipped out to a not very populated area. Being in a town is very exciting, but very overwhelming.
Okay.
So basically, he's gonna, at every little thing, it's going to kind of draw his attention for a short period of time, and then also kind of the whole looking over my shoulder is he going to be there? Is he going to be there? Kind of thing.
I'd say
He's only killed me twice.
I'd say Alder's similar in like the big city type vibe, like kind of like in awe of everything. But he's gonna keep his eye out for any sort of like magic shop of any variety or
yeah, you don't even really have to keep your eyes out for any specific magic shop. That's you pass what are mostly smiths, like smithing shops and blacksmiths, and like storefronts. Not a lot of like scroll store, like bookstores, or like there's chemical alchemists, but the actual like, you're not going to find a wizard's tower that sprouts up from the stone out of nowhere here. You're going to find runesmiths and people that directly inscribe, like, enchant items and weapons. So depending on what you're looking for, there's a number of stops.
probably
kind of-
something on the like natural apothecary kind of thing, like healing and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that's is there anything in particular you're looking for? Because there would be.
No, I mean, I'm just looking for locations to possibly go back later and talk to people.
Okay. Yeah, you pass. There's a lot of them with the more like industrial chemistry leaning, but you pass one shop that is just overflowing with plants. Like their windows are open. There's a kind of older elven man who's going from plant to plant and like spraying them with a bottle and like trimming and keeping all these plants. You recognize a number of different like natural remedy plants, things you'd be familiar with. The name of the store I'm not sure of right now. We'll have to come back to that.
Okay, no worries.
And funnily, it is a large smithy that you're eventually led to. The Heartforged Seekers is the name, and kind of roughly carved into the wood that hangs over this. And there's a dwarf with kind of an unkempt beard and wild hair. He's got goggles pulled over his face. He stands shirtless with like the uneven, like reddish old burns and like not sun-tanned, but like forge-tanned. Like soot and smoke and heat have turned this man's skin into like rhinoceros hide. With deep wrinkles And as he stands like shirtless at an anvil, gloves that go up to his elbows, and he's wielding like a massive hammer. Bing! And he's working away at some project in this kind of open. There's a roof, but the front is open, and there's weapons of all kinds of different qualities and types, kind of just scattered about, kind of willy-nilly. It looks like when he finishes something, depending on how it turns out, he just throws it to the side or hangs it on the wall and throws something else just off to the side. There's just piles of unorganized chaos. And he's just ping. And again, because he's shirtless, as he like lifts up his goggles and looks at something, he turns, and there is clear as day just a handprint across his chest. Serious, Ruth? Not quite. Throws just this unfinished bent piece of scrap metal that is still hot just into the pile of stuff around him. Ooh, customers.
I mean, I'll pay you for your time.
Well, that's kinda just the deal with anyone that comes here. But
Right. Sorry, I'm not really
buying a
from around
sword,
here.
you're paying for the time. It's information you want. Don't know what I can do for you. He pulls up his pants a little bit, but we'll do what I can. And he reaches over and he pulls kind of a long, like shawled, like open, not quite a shirt, not quite a robe. It's full of holes that seem to have been burnt into it. He pulls it over. Professionality. That's the game.
Right. Is there maybe somewhere we could go and talk in a little more private area? Sorry, I'm not from around here, a little overwhelmed from all the people. And
Of course. I've got an office in the back. Oh, put on a pot of tea as well. He turns and like kind of just wanders off into the back, assuming you're gonna follow.
Power. You need us?
Be close by.
Here.
Go ahead.
And then I will wander my way into the back office.
Cool. The back out, it is sweltering hot. He's got a pile of papers. There's a small, like, open chest. It looks like a couple fistfuls of coins in there. Are Alder or Oreltin, are you guys doing anything just out in the shop? Or
I'll wander for a bit. I'll pick up a blade that he's got sitting in the heat and look at it, flip it over, put it back down, walk around and look at all the weapons on the walls. And after we've been in there a minute, I'll talk with Alder again, but wander for a first bit.
Perfect. So, Guy, as he's again in the sweltering heat, he has a fire going that he's hanging up like an iron kettle to start water for the tea. Turns, goes, "Oh, your friends aren't going to follow."
No, this is more just for me.
Right. Shouldn't be time then, yeah?
Well, look, I'm just gonna come out and be blunt with it because you're obviously busy. I am familiar with the handprint that is on your.
Right, that's what I assumed. That's when I said it's not quite time yet. I figured I'd have a bit longer.
No. What if, and again, you're busy. I don't have. Let me ask you this: Have you marked anyone else? And I'll show him mine, but it smeared.
No, I wouldn't get somebody else involved in this. No, the man who marked me, I knew what I was getting into. You're seeking to change it. You'd be best suited to look elsewhere, lad. I'll get you a cup of tea. Feel free to look around the shop.
What if I told you you could be hidden from the fate looking to devour you.
No one hides from fate, lad.
I am.
Good for you. When a catches up to you, I'm sure it'll be worse. I'll get you your tea. You're free to shop around.
Look, it is past my number.
He looks. He reaches into the pocket and pulls out a pair of spectacles that he puts on his eyes. So it is, lad. Right, let me ask you something else then. What did you get for yours?
I didn't get the choice in mine.
Right, but if you're marked, you got something.
I'm assuming it's the powers that I have now. Otherwise, I'd just be some wimpy person who can barely do anything for themselves.
Who made your pact if not you? You say you weren't given a choice.
I wish I could say.
But you think this individual made a bargain with Maldus or with whoever, I suppose. Shouldn't assume.
So you
for
made
you
a pact.
to eventually have power.
It wasn't for me to have power. It was to put them in line in front of me before they were devoured by Haran.
No, that's not how this works. See, you seem to be under the misunderstanding that this is something for nothing. This is born of a pact. I know where I got mine. I know my place, and I know what eventually will come for me.
So you did it willingly for
Aye.
power.
No, for knowledge. Some say knowledge is power, but I have sought something for my whole life. For the fucking life of me. Now I know what it is, and I can't pursue it. Which torments me. But I'll find it. One day. Hopefully. This isn't all for show, lad. This is pursuit. And maybe something I create will last and help someone find what has eluded me for so long. So I know what I got for this. And it's not power. It's a cursed dream. And I was told that my time would come and that I could stave that off by marking others. I haven't needed to.
Right.
I knew the strings attached to mine, and I'm sure there are others that deserve your time and energy more.
What if I told you I could get you more time to pursue what it is that you're pursuing?
I'd be worried that circumventing my end of things might corrupt that which I was given in the first place. Might be different for you, or you weren't given a choice. But think hard on what it is that you may have gotten, or what the deal may have been to begin with.
I couldn't tell you even to begin to think what the deal was. I mean, other than maybe something. I don't know. I'd have to think on that more, but
Eat something to yourself, lad. I shouldn't be so dismissive. What's this time that you offer?
no, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't really think I'd be meeting someone who did it willingly, other than, and at least not corrupting others. So I'm a little taken back by this. Well, as it is, due to certain events of my own, I have come across another god, a forgotten god, who has helped me through, I mean, at this point, numerous encounters, even before she was my own. She has saved my life more than I'd like to admit. And I will say, you know, as per the contract, I am to recruit others to join her cause. That being said, the debt that I owe her, I would do regardless of a contract.
Tell me about this god, man. I personally worship Crest. I seek what I think was his greatest creation. It is lost. And I will not turn my back on my god so easily. If your god does nothing to help me find what I search for, call it avarice, but I will not give up on my dreams, even if it prolongs my life.
Right. And I would never want to tear your relationship from your god.
It's not much of a relationship. The bastard done nothing to help me.
Well,
Legends of the World Forge. And just nothing. They say a splinter of creation lies at the heart of the anvil. Just a little piece. Tell me about your god, and if she can help me find something that has been lost.
well, she is the god of secrets.
Spooky.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, that of which is lost, is it really lost or is it just in a secret location?
Well, that is really a matter of semantics, because if it's a secret location, it implies that somebody knows about it and isn't telling. If it's lost, then it means that... and as you guys go into the finer points of your religion, we're gonna cut back outside. Oreltin, as you've kind of wandered and looked at stuff, you're noticing like there are pieces that are in the scrap that is around that are like half-finished blades that other smiths that you'd seen would pass them off as masterwork weapons that have just been given up on before fitting a handle or adding any sort of decoration. That are tossed to the side. And some of the ones that are hung up and displayed on the walls are not crude, but like imperfect. They're finished, but just wrongly so. The thing that is different is the ones that you've seen on the ground are things you've seen before, where what is hung up on the wall are new things. They're inventive, but still simple. Swords with odd shapes. Spears where the haft is like bent at an angle in a way you haven't seen. Each one that's displayed. Stuff. Each one that is displayed unique, regardless of its good.
I'll pick on the angle and kind of try and make it work, obviously very clumsily. And as I do, I'll say, not looking at Alder, but obviously talking to him. Bauer's obviously new to this kind of thing, and he means very well. I think something he really needs to pick up on is when to prodigize and when to push and when to preach and when to realize that perhaps planting a seed, if I can speak to Dern for a second, and walking away is the right option. You seem pretty set in your ways. I wouldn't want to change that. But gods all kind of have a way of interlocking and weaving together. When a trapping spider darts out from underneath its self-constructed trapdoor and steals its prey back under it, or when a jaguar hides in a tree, unseen to its prey, those are all unseen things. A tree network, the roots interweaving underground, all unseen, all secret. Lies, some might say. Gods have a way of working together, and you may not be as far away from this one as you think you are. And I'll just put the haft back, or the spear back up on the shelf, the rack, whatever it's on, and completely take a sidestep. So what do you fight with, Alder? What's your weapon of choice? And I'll go grab another sword off the wall and start feeling its weight.
The weight on this one is so wrong. It's all in the tip. Like, it almost feels like it should be a hammer, but you realize that there's a point, like, you're kind of swinging and there's like something clicking, and you squeeze the handle and the tip actually like extends like 15 feet of just chain, and that heavy oversized tip like whips through the air as like the momentum just carries it through, and at the apex of the swing it pulls back to you and pulls like with a ton of force.
That one away real quick.
Well, you know, most of the time I'm bared in my teeth, if you will. But, you know, a nice quarterstaff every now and then, if I have to really get in there.
Nothing sharp, huh?
Nothing too sharp. Teeth do fine.
Noted.
You know, you're not wrong. Roots and things tied together. A lot of hidden secrets in the nature.
And you're not the only one. Secrets, lies, hidden things all over the world. The important part is to remember when they need to be kept secret and when they need to be let go.
Agree. And I think nature's around us all. And I don't doubt that my God put me here for a reason. Maybe there's something there.
Again, not trying to prodigize or preach in this particular instance, but planting seeds, I guess.
Waiting to be so.
Go back into the sweltering office. Kaya, now you have a hot cup of tea in your hands. The dwarf ahead of you is sipping at his as though it was cool, taking long draughts of this hot tea. I have time left, lad. And look, I appreciate it. But I would appreciate one thing more. I don't want to risk losing my dream for the sake of a few more years of an already too long life. But how about I help you, and you help me?
Sure.
Don't need a promise of time. You don't have to set off today to do it. You can enjoy Dane's fast, the last few days of it at least. But all cast my net. Find individuals who might be better suited to what you're offering. Preach a little bit myself. And I pray to one useless god. I don't see why. Would it hurt me throwing a few prayers out to another? If she doesn't mind sharing.
You know, at this point, I don't think she'd mind.
Promise me that you'll find what I seek. Promise me that you'll find the World Forge. The anvil upon which Crest forged the world earth we stand on. Eventually. At least that you'll try.
Yeah, well, I'll definitely keep an eye out. If you ever do feel like you need more time, just, you know who to pray to.
List, right? You're not trying to make a grab at godhood of yourself, are you?
No,
Okay,
not me.
great.
Be a terrible god.
You and your friends can take what you want on your way out. Feel free to stop by. Like I said, I create in hopes that someone will find it eventually.
Do you...
Leave an old man to his tea. He sits,
I-
leans back in his chair.
Right, well, one last question. You said you got your knowledge just offhand. You did it willingly. Have you always felt a connection to others with the mark?
At times, if I am thinking about who else might have fallen into this, what poor souls might have sold themselves to such a beast.
Right.
I've not really spoken too often to others like us. On occasion, but they're fleeting.
Well, I told you I'd pay you for your time. And he's gonna pull out 10 gold. Put it on the table.
He just nods because there's a open chest right there. Trust it. Don't make an old man move.
There, yeah, no problem. There you go.
Take what you need. He leans back. And like I said, leave an old man to his tea.
Enjoy
Good
the
luck,
rest of your
son.
day.
Good luck.
He's gonna walk out and look over at Oreltin. Well, we'll see what happens. I'll explain a little more when we're in less public area.
Sure.
Well, you almost immediately after Kyle leaves that back office, getting a glimpse over his shoulder of an old, much more tired looking dwarf than when you had first arrived, staring penitently into his mug of tea. And the door shuts, and a few moments later you get this pulse from List. Just letting you know that whatever Kaya did, she approves of.
I won't say anything, but as we leave the forge, I'll just slap him on the back.
Kaya, do you tell them that the dwarf said that they were welcome to take whatever they wanted on their way out?
Yeah, I would have, yes.
So
He did say we could take whatever we want.
I don't think I
Oh,
take
boy.
okay. All right.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna give it a quick look around. And then he's gonna go as well.
Alder, you as well?
Yep.
Making your way from the Heartforged Seekers one step closer to your destiny.
There it is.
I think we're gonna end tonight there. A little bit of combat, a lot of role play. I'm excited to have some returning characters we haven't seen in a while, as well as a new character. We're gonna be back this week for our usual stream on Thursday. For whatever we're playing then, maybe a little bit more through the week, but definitely next Sunday for more of this. We'll see you next time on Easy Dispel. Thank you so much.